To get the most from your photography, you're going to need a computer. And this could be either a laptop or a tower system. Laptop computers have the advantage of being portable, which means you can take it with you on location and download or edit your pictures in the field. In the home, it is convenient if you're short of space, but has some drawbacks for accurate colour work. Laptop screens are not as good as a dedicated monitor, which can be a limitation, especially if you want to produce exhibition quality colour accurate prints. A tower system gives you more power and lets you add higher quality components such as better graphic cards, hard drives or a larger monitor. The biggest question is which operating system is the best for image editing, Apple Mac or PC, and that's Windows. A quick answer to this is Photoshop on a Mac or PC work in exactly the same way. There really isn't any advantage that either has over the other. Apple may have had the advantage of being first on the creative scene back in the early days of digital imaging, but not today. Windows PCs are no longer limited to number crunching or accountancy work. They offer very powerful graphic intense facilities. However, Apple hardware does look stunning in the studio or the home.
Configuring hardware correctly is probably more important. Macs have all the components pre-installed, so from the outset you have a system that's optimized for performance. Due to the large number of manufacturers that provide components for Windows-based PCs, you may have to spend some time tweaking a new system. Random access memory, or RAM for short, has dropped dramatically in price over the years. A computer which is going to be used for image editing should ideally have a minimum of 2 GB of RAM. Extra memory is very easy to install. Check which memory type is compatible with your system, and then simply push the memory into a spare slot. Perhaps more important is a hard drive, and as with memory, these have dropped dramatically in price too. Drives are available in many capacity sizes, from 80 GB up to 1 TB or more. Generally, drives in the range of 250 to 750 GB are ideal. For an efficient workflow, consider fitting 2 or more fast internal drives. I've configured my own system to have one 320 GB drive, which is used solely for the operating system and applications, and a second 500 GB drive, which is dedicated to data storage. Depending on how much internal space you have in your computer case, you may want to fit more drives in. Again, fitting a new drive is a simple task. Ensure that you have the correct interface, and this could be either an IDE or SATA connection. Check your computer's specifications to ensure that the drive is compatible. Another option is to use removable drives. Again, these are relatively inexpensive and are ideal for archiving images. Generally, these are USB 2 or eSATA, but there are also FireWire 400 and 800 drives available. FireWire drives can maintain high data transfer speeds, making them ideal for video editing. But for normal data storage and image storage, a USB 2 drive will be more than sufficient. Staying inside the computer, a 24-bit graphic card ensures that all 16.7 million colors are available to display. Although, due to the limitations of screen size, you'll never be able to display all the colors at any one time. The advantage a 24-bit color card offers is that you will see smooth tones in the gradients. For example, a sky will not have any banding or stepping, just a smooth transition from one blue to another. For optimum display, make sure the card has a DVI connection, and that stands for Digital Visual Interface. This will give you the best results on an LCD screen. Many older CRT monitors use the 15-pin VGA connection. A good quality monitor is essential for accurate color, and I strongly recommend an LCD screen with a minimum size of 19 or 24 inches. The larger screen size will allow you to view the entire image at a higher magnification. Ideally, you should perform any detailed image retouching at 100% magnification. Not all the image information will be displayed at a lower magnification. A larger screen also reduces the amount of scrolling you have to do in order to view all parts of the image. I'll be dealing with setting up and monitor calibration in the color management chapter. Finally, you can accomplish a lot of image editing using a mouse and keyboard shortcuts. Keyboard shortcuts can come in handy for working fast. For example, pressing Ctrl+C will copy a selected area or object to the clipboard, and Ctrl+V pastes the contents of the clipboard. These shortcuts and several others will also work in most applications. Other shortcuts, such as pressing the S key, selects the rubber stamp or clone tool. Letter B selects the paintbrush. W selects the magic wand, etc. It's useful to memorize the most frequently used tools. Check out your application's list of shortcut keystrokes. For efficient image editing, a graphics tablet should be high on an essentials purchase list. A graphic tablet consists of two components, the pressure-sensitive pad and a special pen. The pressure pad is sensitive to the amount of pressure you apply with the pen. Apply a light stroke to gently brush in a color, or apply greater pressure to increase the brush opacity or size. You can set various options to suit your own way of working. Graphic tablets are available in several sizes from A6 through to A3, but for most practical purposes an A5 size should be more than sufficient. But if you are heavily into painting techniques, then an A4 or A3 size may be of more use.